Welcome, I'm Michael Writer, and today we'll be covering the statistical line with the summer of the Risa 2025 event ship with the Vovin carrier with the budget build. Haven't we done this bit before? No. The previous one was a preview. This is a actual budget build, so I actually get to actually fly this one this time. Now, Vovin Obelisk carrier is now actually in game, and the Vovin Obelisk carrier is actually a remaster of an old. Is a T6 remaster of an old T5 event and lobby ship. That event and lobby ship, however, are probably 10 years old, and the lobby ship was actually playable in this mission Sphere of Influence, but your bridge officer in that mission basically had Omega 3 and an option of abilities rolled into one and three different clickies. So you basically had the best of all worlds in two lieutenant slots. But the Vovin Obelisk carrier comes with a new console for a set that was obtainable in that above episode. So, as usual, we usually have a budget build, and typos should be typos corrected this time. I'm more hoping that was a joke. So the budget builds are pretty clear. I'm not going to, if I can, basically no C-store purchases, no, basically, since day X is basically based on the approximate age of an active player with a level 65 character. Most of the stuff is going to be common drops, and this is with many of us, it's going to be showing effectively a line of progression, shows you what you can get and do. Most videos will allow you to basically drop a day 90 parts on a top of a day 1 build, and this one's no stranger. And this is really more for new players. I will point that out. But as I said, no lead time events and stuff are to be counted, and there's some stuff that but really I'm going to bend some of the rules on this time around, but we've got reason. Day 1 pretty much anything before the Solana's Dash Sphere, which is basically the mission we were talking about. So that's but since we're on, this is a event ship, we take advantage of the fact that we are on day 20. We start on day 20s, basically the same rules, but we can use more much-time mission gear. And day 30 will effectively skip this time around over than on, because there's that much to it. Day 60, same again, we can now include specialization bridge officers outside of mission world bridge officers, which I'll have cover it then. So day 90 builds, almost any equipment can be used, any equipment that we can use from star missions or drops easily. All reputation gear, fleet gear can now be used. Advanced gear and Mark 15 R&D gear I've decided to include it here because even though it might take more than 90 days to unlock, you could easily get it, and if on the rare occasion that there might be more than two special, I need to get two specialization bridge officers that aren't mission worlds, or get back put in here. So, towards the end, I always usually have a paid situations These are usually items I picked from the C Star and some previous event rewards, and usually get a look in. I usually these items are usually considered useful for build, but I don't want from them to build just because. The highlighted paid items will usually increase the effectiveness for the core ideas or just plain the build around of the ship. These items would be used on the ship if I was to fly it on a regular basis, assuming I assuming I was going to fly on a regular basis. But anyway, the Ancient Obelisk technology set. Yes, it's another set video. It's because we actually got the 4-piece set now. So the Obelisk warp core. This is something we're going to be using within the build. So this is roughly what you're going to be getting. We got quite a bit of auxiliary power, and some of your auxiliary power gets boosted into your shield. So it's quite a bit dated, but it's very much a survivability warp core, or designed to be a survivability warp core. But is it? I don't know. It probably was at the time, but remember that this warp core probably was the first mission reward warp core that wasn't a standard drop warp core at the time, because and the same with the Interdominant directional anti-proton beam ray, basically a 360 anti-proton beam ray, and basically nothing super big about this other than it's a set omni anti-proton beam, and it's effectively free. The effectively paid item, which comes with the Tier 5 low-bit version of the ship, is a reactive anti-proton cascade emitter. I won't be. This just shows the stats. I won't be actually using this today, but it's just so we can have an idea of what's going to happen. So let's actually look at some of the stuff we're using. If we get 2 pieces of the set, so that's basically the warp core and the 360 beam ray, we get a 10% bonus anti-proton damage. Very nice for cheap for running a mission twice. The 3-piece set gets into the enhanced carrier synergy. This requires you to have a hangar pad, and basically whenever you activate it. Emergency power ability on yourself, your hangar packs also activate the weakest version of that same power for 10 seconds. So that's basically if you fire off emergency powered weapons to shields, shields 3, it will also do shields 1, and when it's weapons, it will do weapons 1 on the pets, will do weapons 1 to themselves. I've not seen it in action, and it's not super big, but it's actually can do a bit of damage. But this, as I said, the 3rd piece has issues. It's stuck behind the tier 5 lobby star exclusive ship at 800 lobby, and because it's 800 lobby, and it's effectively an old ship at this point. It ends up being a very, very, very expensive for a 3-piece set. So, and I also pointed out that there are other 3-piece sets that do anti-proton a lot better, and sadly will force you to drop the Ancient Obelisk technology set, which we're covering at the moment. But now we're moving on to the new item, basically the Space Factory tunneling field, this time with actual stats. That's right, actual stats, because this is pretty much what we're doing, what we're getting. Now we have a passive ability, which is basically 30% total regeneration. That does not change regardless whatever you do. We have a clicky on this ability, which basically is just basically factory tunnel, which basically transports your ship after a few seconds to a foe or an ally, whichever you've got selected, and provides every effect hold on the enemies around them, and you get quite a bit of hold for every foe affected, and it can reduce the console, and reduces other universal consoles that that cooldowns, which I've got to say is pretty decent. And with the all four pieces equipped, this is another passive ability, and it creates an obelisk every second, but with an update to them at the flight at any time, and these appear to be separate to any hangar pets if you have them around. It's pretty decent. So what's the big change or the big news about all this? Now, reducing the abilities recharge times with universal consoles by 25%. Can in theory reduce a 2-minute cooldown to about a minute, given about the 30 seconds that cooldown of the subplace fractured tunneling field. There's pretty much an expensive lockbox trait on a console, and this trait starts with the console, even tracks with the console. With these long cooldowns, this removes limits of some of the more powerful effects affecting consoles once every 2 minutes. Players have worked out how to ridiculously reduce this cooldown to just about nothing to effectively a near to a global or near uptime, and this is not just to the universal consoles, and it's just about everything else. With the right setup, I've seen some abilities get around to the fact that they're being triggered whilst they're still running again. Basically, they're being run on themselves, being triggered themselves again. Oh, and I've got to say this. One thing is, and I think there's going to be a bot. Yeah, there's a bot. With these abilities trigger powerful universal cost pack to pack, the many DPS players and PV players are expecting, and some of them are hoping for a nerf of some kind to just rein it in a bit. But as all consoles and skills are effectively in the paid consideration only category, there's none of them actually available for me to actually use for the budget builds. The ones that aren't, the ones that aren't in the what I would normally consider in the paid consideration category are basically previous events, and they really do fit, and because they're now effectively locked, but effectively basically because I'm basically always run the assumption you've just started the game before the event starts, so or during the event, so basically you fail the budget build rules just because they technically don't, because you need another ship, need a console from a previous event to make it work, or buy another console in this case. All the mission and reputation universal console rewards I can actually use here are effectively passive and rely on set bonuses for any clicky power sound. Therefore I don't have a bonus to cool down. And well, we've been going at this for a while. We're now actually going on to the actual budget build. Yes, we're actually getting down to building the ship for real. Now, my initial thoughts were pretty simple, and we said because we got some very stuff for boosting, doing basically we go for anti-proton. We got the console settings in, and we use and the trait uses it as well. I'm not sure if the trait is boosted by the anti-proton consoles, but when we basically have 3 or 4 days to test, I don't really, and I have to go through a big pile of numbers. I just decided not to. Since we're going to be using an Omni Beam, we're going to make it a 4 beam bout. 4 in this case stands for Fire at Will, which is a tactical bridge officer skill. With plenty of engineering seating, we're going to go for a dual Ox to Bat build. An auxiliary to battery, which is more proper name, it uses up to 3 technician duty officers to bring the cooldowns up to global, which basically means that you can't get cooling down any faster. Command skills are considered to be used at some point, and heals are basically considered as well to trigger the traitor as much as we want. Keeping your pet self and pets alive is doing damage at the same time is nice, and plus command skills I'm picking do quite a bit of damage. Day 20. Yeah. So we've just got the ship after 20 days of dancing. Yeah. That's technically possible. Welcome to the Vovin Obelisk. Now this is going to be, this is it. This is, well, as you can see here, very sleek, and might have a few things that add to it, but this is it in game. So let's actually see what we can actually do with this ship. Now, this ship is a very much a, but set up as if I was to give you a day 20 build. The now basically I just basically picked up random gear from doing various stuff. So basically this should be actually random gear from when whatever dropped or not dropped in this case, because I haven't done too much, but I've been on Risa for the last 20 days, so what do you expect? So, well, technically I'm playing it if I'm playing along. So, we've got proton beam rays and dual beam banks at the front. This is pure, and a torpedo and standard transphasic at the front. That's probably what you're going to get normally. Again, standard deflecting inputs, and the warp core stands out because that's the obelisk warp core from the obelisk warp core, which gives you which it comes with the episode of Spear of Influence, and you also get the 360 beam array here. Yes, and that's a very nice thing to run as well. So sorry, one of those. Don't worry, we never got those tilt tips because it's basically because I've got other things I haven't unticked. So So yeah, you got standard tactical consoles, anti-proton mags, because these give you about 20% at Mark 12, very rare, and the other ones are ridiculously stupidly poor for this level. So and the beam ones end up starting dropping off a lot by this point. So you do want to go for anti-proton mags and go for almost all the stuff here. Right. So I basically run random science consoles here, just most of it's just boosting up hull regeneration and shield frequency, because I set this up pretty well. You're basically covering your pets for here. And the stations are basically got Boho, our Klingon, one of our special Klingon, my Klingon recruit reward to acting as pretending to be the Cabalier for this moment, but I've given her suppression barrage and sorry, I should have said, and rally point marker. Sorry, not the column artillery. Rally point marker is a bit of a. It's a nice trick when you can get it working right, but military power weapons 2 and engineering team. Chagrin, which is basically our milker worker engineer, is going to be running immense auxiliary to structural integrity field. This is more of a immense heal. So, and I forgot to mention, since I've now unlocked the trait and got it slotted, it will trigger every time I do a heal, including and I've also got power to weapons 2 and engineering team 1. Nero's in the Nero, a tactical officer, basically sitting in the only other commander seat, is the commander universal. So because I can't run certain things, because it's day 20, Tap pattern beta 2, Fire Will 2, Attack Team 1, and my other tactical officers in is playing Attack Pattern Beta 1 and Spread 1, all very nice to do a bit of debuff. I mean, that suppression barrage is pretty much one of the best debuffs in the game, and the doctors on my EMH has got hazard mitters 1 down here. All in all, this is a bit of a weird thing, not particularly brilliant loadout, but when you basically disabled, when you got the rule of no bank free abilities, with especially when I know what the so that's pretty much it for day 20. Day 60. Time to make it work. There's a few changes, but most of them are pretty much gear and reputation related. Now I'm going to say this pretty much. Whilst a lot of these are pretty much say temporal recruit boosted, which I should point out that when we originally get this ship, you can get a temporal recruit going at the same time. So these are temporal recruit boosted, and that's the only reason why they're Mark 13 ultra rare. But we've now taken it, gone, put in a three piece of the Iconian anti-proton beam radiant beam ray. This is a torpedo and the console. This is more of a. This is pretty much a decent outgoing hull thing, and does make some stuff our heals a bit better anyway, which will be relying on a bit anyway. We've got a standard standard dual beam bang at the front, and the advanced set bonuses in the front. And since I've actually got this character up to date, perhaps the day 90, the day 90 bonuses are showing already what we'll be using for day 90 bonuses are showing. But these are pretty much the still day 60 equipment, or these days will be ready by day 60, actually day 30 actually. So I mean, day 30 would be including the prevailing innovative impulse engines, which attack speed. This is the discovery defect and shields are pretty somewhat standard around it. And I've equipped the Larka custom fire controls, mostly due to the fact that it's boosts critical chance, which because quite a few of the weapons we use a lot, basically get a lot of take advantage of getting additional critical chance, and we're boosting a lot of anti-proton. We boosted a lot of anti-proton, but biggest change is the fact that we can now use our specialization bridge officers, and I'm going to be, because the fact is that this is the first time I've actually used specialization bridge officers as a part of the build. Again, I've made our last one a engineer, and I've also engineer used suppression barrage 2 for the time being, but it's purely because that to get a suppression barrage 3 you have to buy it off the exchange or craft it using a big pile of after basically getting yourself to rank 22 on this rank 22, which basically is over 3/4 away through this tree, so it takes a while. So I've deliberately just included it as a rank, because I can use 2 and 3 at the same time. I've decided to not include it. In the past I used the rally point at 20 days we had rally point barrage, but now we've got immense power weapons to 3, which means weapons should do a lot more damage, and I've also decided to use immense power to weapons, immense power to auxiliary power to battery. This is very common, and you do need to have on active space roster 3 technicians that have the ability to say recharge the bridge officer's abilities reduced to auxiliary to battery. These are this 2 a lot of people recommend getting 3 purples, but you can do with easily do with 2 blues and a purple here, and all this does really does make a lot of damage. Makes it really easy to do damage. And one of the neat things about going to battle with technicians is that your cooldowns suddenly get ridiculously short, and just by using it. And I believe it might also increase the inspiration abilities, which is very, very, very important for. So we've got pets flying around with us, so they just suddenly level themselves up. I sadly could not get the right bridge officer abilities, so I was going to go for Brilliant Fight Will 3 here and Beta 2 here, and probably something similar here. Now, in the Milk Worker seat, we've got mixed armed synergy. Now, it's a bit of a weird skill, but it enhances basically for every time we activate a power, we have a boost. Beams or torpedoes, basically beams or torpedoes won't, because all we've got is beams and torpedoes on our ship. So that's how you could just swap it into a total and it would be boosted off. Could boost it all up. It is really weird when you can do it. This is something that I needed to find something to fit in that engineering slot, which wasn't immensely power to shields free, because that, and it does. I mentioned power to weapons engines free, because those two. Yep. Oh yeah. Did I mention? Yeah. I would demonstrate this here, but I mean, I'm outside Kronos, which doesn't have anything I can enemies to shoot at. But yeah, whilst I haven't. Okay, I haven't actually got a day 90 build ready. I'm going to say this right now. I haven't been, not because I haven't been able to, it's because I haven't got enough resources over on Tribble to build a day 90 build. Like, day 90 builds are already a tricky thing. But we do have things like the omnidirectional anti-portal beamway, which is only available for getting your R&D skill up to, well, rank 15, and because I've got it at rank 15 not characters, this is basically being set up as day 90 anyway, so effectively day 90 you can easily get that up and out, and this is actually one of this is even one I haven't crafted for this one today, so that's why it's at rank 14. That used to be a cap. That used to be one of Scarlet's, not Scarlet's, Peluvius. As I said, because, and I will change as much as you can, and you got the ability to get suppression parade free, because The difference is what it is basically. Well, what you still do, what enemies do, you do still suppress an enemy for 20 seconds. They do basically instead of doing a third of the damage, a third less of the damage they used to. They do half of the less damage, and they're a lot weaker than they were before. And any changes I would say for day 6, they would have done the same. Now the big problem is, whilst I do have isomags available on Tribble, I don't have hanger crafting power transmission consoles available to me, because I don't have that click have the right gear. But they have been known to be very powerful, so they got themselves in here. Paid considerations. Oh yes. Now, well, I could see looking at the Barrel Sentry linked Sentry set. This is pretty much it, because it's the better anti-potion set, and allow me to put the Discovery 3 piece back together. And the rest of the year I want to be effectively sea star ships. Basically, the Terran strike with command authority can make a lot of damage, quite a bit of damage. The launch and repair abilities come from the Cation's support carrying and 3 other ships. Basically allow you to relaunch your pets a lot more quicker, so you might want to use those if you want to do a pet heavy build. And the Altia Strike Escort and 2 others are part of the coordinated assault, which basically allows you to fire. Basically allows you to boost some of your abilities, your pet's abilities by using the abilities yourself. There are quite a few of us, but usually the ones that I'm thinking of will either help your pets or help your ship do more damage or survive damage. But as I said, it's picking and choose. There's a lot of pay considerations, but these are the ones that stand out which we haven't covered in the previous other ships where I've done pay considerations. And well, Fightwell doesn't have a Within Barrage equivalent, so that's the reason why I haven't mentioned it. The big question some of you are asking, even though after I've got it, is it still worth doing the event? And if you're still asking, yes, it's still worth it. Considering that I'm making this video go live before 20 days left, so with over 20 days left, so you should have time. If you don't, you'll have to pay a little bit, or really hope that will appears inwards back in the future, because at this rate it might be 2027. Yeah. So yeah, really, yeah, this is really worth it. My personal aim always is to get the ship when I can for free, then work out if it's worth flying. Remember, if I have it and it's have it free and it turns out to be the best ship in the game, or parts of the best ships in the game, I can at least reclaim it for free, and I can spend a few weeks getting the goodies for where I want it. I've got 7 characters, and it's a lot easier to get it now with 20 days of doing a 5-minute minus chair every day. Just trying to earn and spend gold Phoenix, trying to get Phoenix tokens to get one, or a pile of Zen to buy one out buy the event out later. And this console has one of the better effects for non which some of the many non-budget builders will consider replacing the slot for. But anyway, this has been Mike Sharpwriter. See you guys next time.